taxes hapana. That's none of our business. Because we know they are toxic. Iwa mwalimu. Agenda yao na hawa wako.
I could set you free.
Hi, welcome to yet another episode of Nasha's Trends. My name is Sharon.
I am Nachi.
And today we are joined by a guest. You guys know him, but I'm going to let him introduce
Himself.
Yeah. Yes, karibu sana.
Santi.
Yes.
Please tell us your name. Yeah.
My name is Francis Gaitho. I'm a content creator at TikTok.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to also try and experiment with other platforms. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm happy for your hosting over here.
Thank you so much for gracing us today.
Santi.
Yeah, we've seen your content and you're really outspoken about most issues. Yeah. And today we are going to be talking about the whole Why Are You Lying challenge. Yeah, the high school toxicity whole story. So first of all, did you have a toxic high school experience yourself? Because you're really passionate about it.
Yeah, I've been speaking about it. Mm-hmm. But then the problem is I've been speaking about it in a small circle of people who are still radicalized with the school culture. So they still see as if going to school and teachers teaching you was a favor. They did not see that we paid them. They did not understand that these teachers were toxic. They stole our time. They took our youth, our vibrant state.
What do you mean by teachers being toxic?
Well, teachers, first of all, the 844 curriculum was programmed that in our days, I know you guys are way much younger.
Yeah.
But in our days, there was a song that used to come on KBC radio. Mm-hmm. But then KBC was the only radio station.
Yeah.
And even we used to have radio sessions where they bring the radio in class and then we listen to some choreographed teaching from KBC.
Yeah.
So all of us were brainwashed by the then president or the then regime to listen to these toxic content. So they used to say, so many vijana mwisho wa kusoma utapata kazi nzuri sana. So it was a famous song.
Yeah.
Everyone knew it. And our parents and everyone, just believed that lie.
Yeah.
And so we came from the Kibaki era and then the Moi era and then
but I don't think it's a lie. It's the truth. You upata kazi nzuri in as much as the opportunities are not there.
But
the kazi is there.
But ukiangalia ile kazi sahi tunafanya ni kujituma. Everything that I'm doing today that I'm trying to earn from, I never learned in school. So why don't we then convert this curriculum to start training people of the jobs, the modern jobs, the modern job market? Why don't we start training them from school? Because then I started learning computers way after high school.
Yeah.
What if I started learning computers in high school?
Your time there was no
computer studies.
Oh.
And even now I know the computer studies in high schools is very outdated. They don't give the kids
actually
the
there
time.
are schools that do not have, my school did not have computer classes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we why don't we onboard the kids to learn the relevant subjects today when they're in school, so that when they come out they are earning. For instance, I feel like photography. They should start now we learn it post high school. Should start learning photography in high school. We should start doing things like swimming, sports, arts, music. We should start doing it in high school.
Are they not there right now in high school?
No.
They are there, but in those rich high schools.
Oh, in rich high schools.
In the rich high schools, in the British curriculum, the schools are there, all those topics are there.
Yeah.
But when you come to the Kenyan curriculum, they don't teach, they drill.
What do you mean by drill?
Drill is you're bombarded with this, you're given homework, you're given assignments, you're given, they drill.
That are not relevant.
You're drilled for the benefit of the education, for the benefit of exams. Now, these exams, these teachers want for you guys to pass, or for students to pass, so that they appear on the newspapers. And then the principal of the high school can be bragging, oh, my school appeared in the ranking, I was top 100. So our educational curriculum exists for the benefit of teachers to brag. For the benefits of nimeshinda huyu, and then now once you're in the top 10, now that's where the game begins. The game begins that once you're in top 10, top 20, top 50, all the parents around the country, they want to get their kids in your school just because you appeared in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Now they are ready to pay top dollar for you to get into that school. So we have children with merit within the certain regions who deserve to be in those schools, but then they are kicked out because the people with the money, then they come. So like every school, whatever cycle, every exam cycle and school selection cycle.
Yeah.
So there are those who pass exceptionally. Those ones are awana shida. Now the game begins from around 410 to 350, 320. Those parents, they know their children are above average and they want them to go to schools. So what we had is that you're being called to a school that is very far. And you don't want your kid to go to a far school. Your kid is called to Bura, Garbatula, I don't know what, I don't know, Pokot. You're being called to a strange school and you've born and raised in Nairobi, born and raised in Mombasa, born and raised in Nyeri, Kiambu. And then you've been called to a school where even the weather conditions are not compliant with your body. So now because your parents know that's where the game is, because what the corrupt headmasters, headmistresses and principals did is they got together with the political establishment, let's say the governors from these arid and semi-arid regions or even other regions. For instance, if you saw in January, I'll send you the screenshot of that.
Yeah.
The governor of Mandera, he's holding a big dummy check, 350 million Kenya shillings, to go into bursary. Going to pay bursary, not in schools in Mandera, in schools in other counties.
Why?
Why? You're asking a good question. Why? Why can't he use that money to build schools in Mandera? The budget for building a full school is 10 million shillings.
So
But
he was
there's
giving the money to other counties.
To other schools in other counties.
But those schools in other counties, so they have their own bursaries.
They have their own bursaries, but he wanted to educate his own children. But all this money goes, number one, to bribe headmasters and headmistresses. So that a student who has 200 from Mandera has a better chance of joining Alliance
all right.
than a student from Nairobi who has 400.
Do they still do that?
That's what they're doing. That's what is called quota
Because
system.
if at all you're to give that all money to some bursary in some other counties, then well.
No,
that's
it's
the
not
point.
giving another county. He's paying school fees for one student.
Oh, the bursaries, yeah.
The bursaries. So now we are asking, why are you committing all this money to pay bursaries in schools in other counties? Mbona usijenge shule kwenyu?
But
your idea of students are going to other counties.
Yes.
But I thought that they should like travel to other places to experience like new cultures, new locations. It's also like a learning process because they are going to travel and all that. And you also mentioned on the climate change. Is it climate or weather? In different locations. But when they grow up, they're not like going to stay in one
same
location.
place, yeah.
So I think it's
actually
good that they're going to
exposing
travel
them.
there to expose them so that it becomes easier in the future. Yeah.
Umemaliza?
Yes.
I want to tackle you.
Yeah, nimemaliza.
Haya.
Yeah.
In America, we are, because our constitution, when it was being made, you guys were still in school. Now we were being told we have borrowed everything from America, but somehow we borrow things from America selectively. It depends on who is eating and who is not eating. So in America, it's a wide country. It's almost like a continent. So the students who are based in Miami, they don't go for high school in Chicago. The students who are born in Chicago, they don't go to high school in New York. Occasionally, they have programs which are called exchange programs.
Yeah.
So you go for one term, one semester, you can exchange for that experience that you're talking about. But ideally, your high school, first of all, we need to assess the trauma, the psychological trauma that we inflict on students when you put them away from their loved ones, separation trauma from your loved ones, from their family at a very young age. Ideally, you should be doing this in high school, no, in university. But you're now separating them, and then you're introducing them to some other rough teaching, because our teachers are not trained to be compassionate. There is no teacher in my past life who came off as compassionate. All of them were brutal, they were violent, they were narcissistic. When they spot that you have a gift, a talent that is outside the education success, then they start profiling you. Kama sisi tulikuwa tunaprofiliwa nyinyi watoto wa Nairobi, ndio mnakuja kutuharibia nini. You know, there were all these narratives that your teachers used to cook.
Yeah.
Just because you are gifted in music, in arts. Because when I ran that on my TikTok, I would see people saying that a teacher once beat me up and I was sick. Because of what? Because he found me, I've drawn a graffiti in my... And graffiti is a talent. There is people who are living
they
off...
really had an issue with that in calligraphy.
Yes, calligraphy.
Yeah.
And you see now tattoo artists are making so much money. Yeah, but people who are doing tattoo. So that's why I'm saying that the teachers, their curriculum is toxic. And then they bring that toxicity to the students. Now, these are young students, you are meeting them there. This teacher is coming there, is just talking shit, just telling you, oh, you Nairobi, do you think you are? But that's what I found when I went to high school. And I had gone with so much high expectations because I went to a school which had a big name at the time. Even now, it still has a big
Which
name.
school?
It was called Kagumo High School. And I... You know, everyone was like, oh, you've gone to a good school. Then I went there, the bullying, first of all, Form 4s were just fighting us, they were just beating us up. And the teachers knew that was happening.
Yeah.
They would turn a blind eye on that. And then once you show some level of exceptionalism in our music, arts, and whatever, now they come to profile you. So you see, it's a double-edged sword. They turn a blind eye. They know that you're being harassed as a Form 1, as a mono, as a joker. They know you're being harassed, you're being bullied, you're being beaten. Now as you are being beaten now properly in terms of you're going to hide. And if you
nowadays they've taken away the beating from the school curriculum.
No. You see, they've only taken away the physical part, and even the physical part has resumed. Imerudi chini ya maji because we saw a student in Kisii mwenye alitolewa a testicle.
Yeah.
The testicle was burst by the teachers. So imeresume pole. It's almost ni kama kusema ati polisi wamereform siku hizi hawashiki watu. Wewe ukishikwa na polisi wewe.
By the way, when you say teachers, actually I'm a trained teacher myself, and I'm trying to listen to you, and I'm like, yeah, because like you are just being trained to nurture this student in academics.
That's drilling. You're drilling him
into academics.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't really look at their talents.
Yes.
I actually had this student when I was in TP. I had this student who is into acrobatics, and he's so good at that. And you know, he's not good in academics at all. But I was encouraging him, like, you know, pursue your talent. This is what you love. And he actually ended up loving my subject. And he was so poor at it. But by the time I'm leaving the school, he was informed to. He ended up choosing the subject. And he just fell in love with it. Not because he loved the subject, but because I cared enough about what he cared for. So, but most times, no, teachers don't nurture talent. And that is true.
Our teaching curriculum is not for showing love and compassion to the students.
Yeah.
So even the teachers, so I'm getting a lot of comments. Oh, sio walimu wote wabaya ni kidogo. No. You've been through that. It's almost like saying, do you see your policy wote wabaya? No.
Actually, it's not all teachers. It's true, see walimu wote wabaya. But again, teachers don't just care. As long as you're not good in academics.
But you are a different teacher because probably you knew in your mind you are transitioning.
Yes, true.
Now the teachers who've been there for 5-10 years, wale watu wanaona watoto is almost like ikama factory, conveyor belt, wewe kuja ondoka. Now we are telling them, now because we know they are toxic, some not because of because it's not due to their will. It's the curriculum they pass through in
the system.
Bachelors of Education. Wengine walienda hizi teachers training colleges. So it's not them who have a problem. It's the curriculum. Now, to avoid that, because we don't have time to nurture new teachers, hiyo ni mambo mingi sana. What we are saying, we want to limit the interaction of this toxicity with children, with students. We want to limit it. So class starts at 9, ends at 3. That's your only interaction. From then on, from 3 or from 4 to 7, you engage in a core curricular activity. So if a student is good in photography, in arts, kukue na watu wanakuja nao art teachers or art mentors or art whatever they want to call it. Mtu anafunzwa hizo vitu zenye talent yake iko. So if it's computer coding, if it's football, munakuwa kwa ground your time mnacheza. Umeletewa mtu, there are so many former footballers here who are idling. They are supposed to be employed in schools. Sio kukue na mwalimu wa sports ati huyo ni you
na
get
mwalimu hata hajui
mwalimu tu tunasimama hapo you play.
Mwalimu kazi yako ni 9 to 3. Kutoka hapo enda nyumbani.
You also need to rest.
Enda nyumbani. In fact, we are creating opportunities for teachers so that they can reconnect with their social lives, because their toxicity is like in my high school. Our deputy headmaster was a bachelor. And he was so idle. He was called Kaigwa. He was so idle. Alikuwa sasa anakuja kutafuta ati vijana wenye wana smoke. Alikuwa anavaa nguo za nini za student. He was slim like idle. That. He was mtu idle.
Yeah, he was very idle.
He was a bachelor. He had no social life. His life revolved around the school. Yani shule ikifungwa anagonjeka. But ni kwa sababu ya kukosa nini? Social life.
Yeah.
Alikuwa anavaa our uniform, anavaa white shirt, the pants, the nini, na tulikuwa tunavaa zingine zinaitwa nini zile pulver, anakuja hivyo. So watu tumekaa hivyo tunavuta sigara, tunaona mtu akikuja hivi, unaona ule ni kama student anakuja, so una wasiwasi. So alikuwa anakuja kama ametushika hivyo, anatuambia what's your name, admission number, what's your name, admission number. Sasa mzee mubaba,
smoking in high school was illegal.
Sasa hiyo that's another story. That's another story for another day. It is illegal. It is still illegal. But mimi najaribu kukuonyesha alikuwa anafanya those are idle teachers.
Yeah, I've seen memes of when it's raining and a maths teacher is like, I will swim. It's flooding but
lazima atafunza. Na ndio niliuliza the other day. Our walimu, they have the audacity kukaa na watoto hadi Easter. This is crazy. Si walimu wamezidi?
Yeah.
Si wamezidi? Yeah. Wewe ulikaa shule Easter?
I have in class 6.
Wewe ulikaa shule Easter?
Hata sikumbuke.
There's a time I was in a very strict boarding school. Tulifunga 1 week. The whole of Easter we were in school.
No way.
Yes.
And in class 6?
208.
Now that is bad.
Yes. We were in school.
Because these people are still in primary.
Yes.
That is tukikosa kuongelesha walimu saa hii, because our parents now wameingiwa na this toxicity ya walimu na makanisa. So we need some powerful prominent voices speaking on behalf of the helpless children.
Yeah.
So that we are telling the parents that hizo mambo muliambiwa ni za uongo. Eti mtu akisoma atapata kazi. Sahi hakuna kazi, sahi hakuna nini, makampani tunaona zimefunga, watu wanaenda Saudi Arabia kufanya menial jobs, mtu ako na degree anaenda kukua house help, anaenda kukua house manager na yet amesoma. So we are telling them to adjust to today's reality, that stop wasting your time.
But I think jobs are there, just that we don't have those opportunities. They are corrupt.
No, you have the jobs have gone. Companies have shut down.
Like jobs like a teacher, like a doctor.
No,
they're still there.
But we are going with personal capabilities. We need the people who are skilled in computers, the ones wasifungiwe. Na tuanze kuwa train mapema.
I think what we should do is not tell our kids that jobs are not there, but tell them that let teachers and parents and everyone who is around the kid raising group to know that if a student, if your kid is not
talented,
academically gifted, let them pursue other,
Sasa hiyo, now that you are saying it the right way.
Yeah.
and I'm just using perhaps a more unconventional approach, but we are all on the same page.
Yeah.
But the teaching culture right now, the toxic teaching culture, ni ati ukikosa kupita pale exams, pale mocks, pale nini,
problem, yes.
unaanza kupigwa.
Yeah.
Unaanza kuprofiliwa kwa darasa.
Yeah.
Unaanza kuambiwa huyu you have no future. Sisi tumeambiwa tulikuwa tunafikiri tutakufa.
Yeah, but the teachers.
Yeah,
tulikuwa tunafikiri
that is
after high
the
school.
toxic part.
Because these teachers walikuwa wameshika now the core like 10-20 students who are performing well.
Yeah.
Hata akikuja kwa darasa hata ajui una exist.
Yeah.
Actually, I think this also ends up weighing down on the student themselves. You become like they set you to, your mind is just thinking I have to perform better academically, so you perform and perform and perform. By the time umetoka high school ama whatever level, umekuja huku nje, your mindset, you even fear failing, you fear trying anything because my teachers or my other schoolmates walikuwa wananiona kule juu,
and they were instilling fear in you.
Yes, actually,
exactly. Wanakuchapa, wanakupunish,
ama life yako haitakuwa better in the future. So you end up, you're out here, you're really hustling, and you even end up limiting yourself. This channel, ama let's say YouTube, pursuing YouTube will earn me money, but I was the top performer in my school. If people see me competing for a YouTube platform with other people who are not even learned, what will they think of me? And you end up fearing and clinging yourself to an ideology that is not even helpful. So I really, really agree with you that we should stop instilling fear on students. Story na academics. Academic performance is not the ultimate
alpha and omega.
Yes.
Yeah.
Na ndio mimi nasema to do all of that, kwa sababu walimu tumejaribu kuambia hivi hawasikii.
Yeah.
Walimu wanataka kukaa na watoto hadi Easter. Wamebakisha kidogo sasa wakae na watoto mpaka Christmas. Wamebakisha kidogo hivi.
Yeah.
New Year, tukiendelea hivi New Year watoto watarukishia kwa shule.
Actually watoto si wanarudi shuleni tarehe 2.
Yeah.
Date 2.
Our makasia, we have already set the tone for them because these teachers may become too much. They are no longer.
I don't think it's the teachers. I think it's is it the teachers or ni commission or what is
tuko hivi.
Yeah.
Nimepata hiyo narrative sana. Naambiwa not all teachers are bad. Wengine wanaongea na marafiki wangu, wanasema you're being too unfair on teachers blah blah blah. Iko hivi. Teachers are employed by TSC.
Yeah.
Lakini wakienda kwa shule wanafuata agenda ya principal na deputy principal.
Who are also teachers, yeah.
Unasikia? But wao wako na union yao. Have they ever gone to report that their schools are doing wrong? Have they ever gone to report their...
Watareportaje si wanaweza futwa?
Exactly. Lakini hawezi futwa na shule. Wanafutwa na TSC. So all we are saying is once the teachers they ni system mbaya. So what we do ni tunaambia walimu one simple thing. Unaingia 9 am natoka 3.
Pia mtoto anaenda home hivyo 9 to 3.
The same.
Na
sasa tunaingia co-curricular activities.
But there are students that want to like study like wao wenyewe like they
learn
more.
Sasa hao ndio they academically gifted, acha wasome. Mwenye anataka kukua nje kwa field.
Mwenye anataka kuwa nje.
Na pia kuna mwingine ako so much into co-curricular like they're not focusing on academics. Okay. So ikikuwa hivyo basi academically hata perform vizuri.
Hapana.
I'll give you back this one example I told you. I was in this TP. This student was poor in almost all other subjects. Not almost, he was just poor in all. Hapo anapenda masomo at all. He was just going through school amalize form 4 pata certificate yake. But just because I showed him care enough that I care about him, I care about his interest, he ended up doing what? Loving. Actually, I can even show you a message he texted me. He told me, Madam, I took geography, and if there is any subject that I will not fail, it's geography. In his KCSE. And he told me that. Just because I showed interest. So huyu mwanafunzi mwenye anataka co-curricular activities, show him that you care about his co-curricular activities.
Yes.
That way, he'll also care about what you're teaching him.
Sasa kuna huyo ni mwanafunzi type moja. Kuna mwingine huyo anapenda co-curricular, mwingine anapenda academics. Kuna mwingine sasa na yeye usipokuwa strict na yeye academics hata.
Na mimi tunasema hivi, academics sio mwanzo na mwisho wa maisha. Yeah. Mimi nakwambia kile kitu nililearn academically. Everything I'm not using it today.
Yeah.
Mimi niko hustle.
But kuna hiyo pia there is time for everything. There is a reason kuna hizo 4 years.
Which is 9 to 3 a.m. is enough.
Yeah, this is their time period.
9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
But that 9 a.m. to 3 anafunzwa na mwalimu. Hana time yake like kutusi.
Atafanya usiku akienda kivyake na whatever, bora amepewa homework na kwa imagine before boarding schools how students they still used to learn. Before school students used to learn. So hii mambo ya kukua na morning prep na evening prep does not necessarily mean juu umeenda hizo morning preps that at the end of the day you are going to pita hizi subjects. Kuna watu tulienda prep nao walipata E, wengine walipata D, na tulikuwa tunaenda zote wanapigwa wanafanya nini, wengine C, wengine B. So does not mean that because umeenda hizi prep zote, does not mean that because shule zilikuwa na wewe Easter that utapata A.
Yeah.
Unataka kuniambia hao wote sasa juu walisoma juu ya Easter watapata A? Watakuwa madaktari? No, what we are saying is we want proper allocation. Education, co-curricular. Co-curricular kila mtu anafikirianga ni mchezo, ni disco na nini. No.
Because that is what is there.
That is the narrative.
Yeah.
Sasa tunaambia mashule hiyo pesa yote mnachukuanga kwa wazazi muanze kuinvest. So if a kid is good in football, mkuwe na football coaches. Sio mwalimu ana double up as a sports sports teacher, sports master. Munaita the former footballers, former basketballers. We are creating jobs also for them.
Yeah.
Unasikia? Yeah. Music teachers, kuna watu wengi wamesoma huku music hawana kazi. Yeah. Kazi yao wanakuwa engaged, wanaenda kule wanasomesha watoto.
I saw something very interesting. Yeah. This dancer, I think Dance General, he was called by an international school to go and teach dance.
Listen, international school inaita Dance General. Local school inaambia Dance General huyu ni devil worshipper.
Yeah, true.
Sasa walimu wametuchosha hawa makasia. Wasenge hawa wametuchosha waende kule wanaenda.
Yeah.
Wametuchosha.
So, yeah. On the topic of why are you lying, I saw on TikTok some people are like sharing their own experiences, and we saw people that were saying how like even prefects, I've heard stories of prefects that are given the mandate to beat students. Sisi
tulikuwa tunapigwa na maprefo hata kuliko na walimu. Na walimu walikuwa wanajua. They knew all these abuses.
And they were turning on that.
Okay.
But how do you let a fellow student beat you?
Hiyo ndio ilikuwa, we were in an oppressive regime of Moi. Hata time ya Kibaki kulikuwa nazo na nini.
But it still happens to death.
Even now it still happens. Ni venye stories zingine hazifiki. Now what we are telling these teachers is tumejua your double standards. Pande moja mnasema pande nyingine mnasema no. Sasa tunasema mkae 9 to 3. Na mkiingia kwa darasa ukiwa mwalimu, usianze kuongea huyu wako na nywele refu, huyu sijui ni mulait, huyu sijui nini.
Ukisema tukae 9 to 3, I think hiyo itakuwa raha kwetu. Actually me I'd love
why sio raha, kwa sababu ukitoka 3 unaenda unabadilisha nguo. Unaingia kwa walimu. Hivyo, lakini walimu hawataki hivyo because
kwa nini?
Their narcissism, the way they've been trained, hata saa zingine wana overwork na walipwi overtime. Yeye tu ako na furaha tu kuharass watoto.
Yeah, that is no wonder they don't get old, because they hawazekangi. You stress zao zote wana release on the student.
So wakipewa stress na baba wake na boyfriend wake, husband wake anakuja kutolea nani watoto. Huyu na yeye akikuja huko, mwalimu wetu alikuwa anakuja wengine wakiwa mlevi. Na kuja huko kututolea ma stress zake.
They still do come while still drunk.
Sasa to avoid all of that, walimu tunawasaidia because we want to reconnect them with the social environment. So what we do is very simple. We ingia 9 na subject yako kama ni 30 minutes 1 hour. wewe wacha kushinda ukisema ati mambo ya nywele, sijui nywele inakaa hivi, sijui msichana unakaa hivi. Kukuwe na another department ya oversee all of that. Sio wewe mwalimu una integrate na masomo. Because that is also used to suppress the confidence of the kids.
Yeah.
And they are taught this is a curriculum deliberately created by the mzungu. Hii story yote imetengenezwa na mzungu kwa sababu mzungu anataka us as black people to be suppressed.
Yeah.
Hiyo ndio that's the life. So now we are telling them 9 to 3 waanze kujitayarisha mapema because this is a revolution which is coming. Kama kuna mwalimu anaona hii ajue mapema ndio best. 9 to 3.
Yeah.
9 to 3.
Yeah.
And then afterwards between 3 and 4 watoto wanaachwa waende wa change.
Yeah.
Wanaingia mwenye anaingia kwa grao, mwenye anaingia kwa stadium, kwa whatever, kwa grounds whatever, wa football kukuwe na a proper football coach. Wenye wanataka kudance kukuwe na proper dance instructor. Mwenye anataka kucheza instrument kukuwe na proper music teacher. Anafunza wakiwa watatu trumpets na nini.
Yeah.
Na mwanunulia hizo equipment kwa sababu pesa zinatoka kwetu. Na mkitaka pesa kama shule za kununua hizo vitu, mnatuita harambee, tutatoa. Hizo shule ni zetu za community. We are going to raise the money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alafu pia tukue trained kuwa more gracious to the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lakini kuwa more trained kwa sababu saa hii unajua you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Tunataka walimu sasa 9 to 3 muondoke muende nyumbani. Tutatrain walimu wengine wapi? Wenye wako saa hii wameshachoma, wameshaban. Wameban.
I saw an interesting opinion you had on boarding schools that they should be abolished.
Yes.
Which I support because
Yes.
my opinion, I'm not a parent yet, but when I become a parent, I'm also not going to support like boarding school because I think that parents ni kama wanapea walimu the mandate ama majukumu ya kuraise mtoto wake.
Ndivyo.
Like unamwona one month in a year.
Ndivyo wanataka and we are saying and at
now
what
those
cost?
Are parents.
And at what cost? Because nimeenda mahali I was doing some errands. So nilikuwa kwa duka fulani and so the kid was with the parent na anarun hiyo duka. Now the parent looked so disturbed kukuwa na mtoto. Nilikuwa na overhear wako wanaona kama nasikia Kikuyu. So nikaanza kusikia nikaanza kusikia akiongea na mama mwenzake mimi ufurahi mtoto wangu akiwa shule kwa sababu sasa tunasumbuana na yeye because the kid was there anamsumbua na videos.
Yeah.
Her phone. Now that's the mindset of poverty yenye imeintroduciwa na mzungu kwetu. Now what should happen is that mtoto akifunga akikuja kwa duka yako unaanza kumtrain around business yako. Na ndivyo Wahindi they are so successful because mtoto akifunga shule na Wasomali
yes.
Anaingia kwa kazi kwa kampuni yao. Lakini sisi tunaona mtoto akiwa na wewe hapo ni distraction. We are seeing him like he's a bother. Mtoto aanze kufundishwa hata kama ni duka ako hapo. Ukiangalia duka, do you know there used to be this major supermarket called Nakumat.
Yeah.
Nakuru, it started as Nakuru mattresses in Nakuru. Na ilikuwa family business. Walianza tu hivyo kama kiosk.
Yeah.
And it grew to be a supermarket. Why? Because ni family. Kiangalia hizi makampuni zote za Wahindi ziko hivyo. Mtoto akimaliza tu shule hivi anaingizwa kwa kampuni. Wewe unaona mtoto akiwa hustle. Ati sasa unataka akae huko shule. Wazazi they have been the weak link in the reform of the education sector.
I agree.
So we need to change the mindset. Kwanza kitu ya kwanza now tuta deal na parents later because the parents now wamekuwa ndi watu makasia sana. Tuta deal nao baadaye in later TikToks. Nikifanya TikTok sasa muniite tena. We deal with the schools now 9 to 3. 1 hour break 4 waingie kwa pitch. Wa kukimbia wanakimbizwa. Tutafute all our retiree whatever runners wako Rift Valley. Wanafanya nini huko wameretire? Wakuwe wamepewa makazi kwa mashule. You see we are creating jobs for our retired legends.
Yeah.
So we are creating jobs on an unprecedented scale. Lakini hii pesa yote sasa tumekuwa tunafanya nini? Yote nakula na headmaster ama nani, kila mtu huko ni mamijengo wanajenga flats. No. Now is the time you invest in the children, because we have realized, because we want to get the next Messi, the next Eliud Kipchoge. We want to get him from the current crop of high school students.
Yeah.
And even primary. They have so much land, they could be using it for sport. Lakini angalia kama ma stadium zetu huku Kenya zinatumiangwa nini kufanya makanisa, mamas, makesha, crusade. Hiyo mambo tunataka tu, we want facilities zenye ziko kwa shule zitumiwe kutrain watoto wenye wako huko, kama ni hall, kama ni nini, drama. Tunataka kuona the next best actors. Ukiangalia kama acting scene yetu, the same people for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
It's cartels, kwa sababu we don't have new talent coming in. Si ndio? Sasa hata hao wenye wako hapo saa hii tunataka wapewe makazi na mashule. Sasa
watoke wengine
principals wenye if you are a headmaster, headmistress, if you are principal, na you are trying to fight this because it's a revolution, you are trying to fight it. My friend, utajipata nje. Nimewaambia wajitayarisha mapema ndio best. The movement, because coincidentally I spoke about quota system. Hii mambo ya quota system. And quota system is that tumekuwa shule zenye zimejengwa na communities. Eti zinafanywa national. Ati ili isaidie mtoto wa Pokot, mtoto wa Turkana, mtoto wa sijui na huko wapi Mandera. Ati tunamsaidia kwa sababu wao kwao hawana shule. Now within devolution, since 2013 to 2021, those 9 counties zenye zinajiita marginalized walikuwa wamepata 1 trillion shillings. 1 trillion shillings was a budget of Kenya as a country in 2011-2012. Lakini hawajengi shule huko kwao, hawajengi mahospitali huko kwao, hawapendi watu wao. Wanataka watoe bursary, wakuje mtoto wao asomee Alliance, asomee wapi, asomee. Ni tumeambia hapana. Muko na pesa ya devolution. Si mko na do ya devolution. Mmepata 1 trillion. 1 trillion unajua ni pesa inakaa aje? Hiyo ni, lakini yote wanatengeneza ma flats easily. Kile une concrete jango. Unaona my flat iko na 20 floors. Hata hakufai kuwa na nyumba ya 20 floors, lakini kuna flats kama hizo. Unaenda Kileleshwa, unaenda South Sea. Sa concrete jango, kwa sababu pesa yao wanakuja kutumia kujenga real estate, hawataki kujenga mashule kwao. Sasa tumewaambia this is the last year. Hii ndio mwaka ya nini?
Ya mwisho.
Kuko na hiyo kitu inaitwa quota system. Watu wasomea nini? Kwao. The closest school is the best school. Ukimaliza sasa ukuje university.
Same to hospital.
Na hospitals. Ati sasa tuko na referral Kenyatta, tuko na referral huku kwingine kunaitwa aje? Kenyatta University na Kenyatta National Hospital. Tuko na ingine ile inaitwa Moi. Hapana, jenga hata nyinyi mjenge referral. Hiyo pesa ni mingi ya kujenga referral. You only need 1 billion. You mumekula 1 trillion. Jengeni hata sisi tukuje tuletwe hospitali huko, si ndio? Jengeni shule. They have the land. Let me tell you something about Narok County. Narok ndio unasikianga Masai Mara, kuko na ile mahoteli yote iko huko. Wanapeananga hiyo land for the hotels to build. Hawezi pay investor wa university ya kuja jenga university huko because they have the land. Waite kama ni proprietor wa certain university hata abroad kuja jenga hapa, kuja jenga hospital. Hawataki kwa sababu wanajua we are going to educate their children. Lakini tumesema tuko na devolution. Kila county inapata the same amount of money. Mbona wewe unataka county nyingine ikusomeshee watoto? Wewe ati uko county sijui gani, uko Kakamega, uko na sio just all those asal counties. Uko Kakamega, Busia, wapi, kila mahali wajenge shule. Tumewaambia quota system inaisha. Wajitayarishe. Unajua wanaona kama ni jokes. Mujitayarishe magavana, kwa sababu unajua huko sasa watatolewa na watu wao. So ukienda place kama IBC saa hii unapata ni watu wa community moja wako huko wamejaa. Ukiangalia madirect, kwa sababu job zao zinakuanga zimenegotiatiwa politically. Au si tumewaambia hizo negotiations deals mlifanya wakati wa huyu alikuwa president na nani. That's neither here nor there. That's none of our business.
But pia hiyo ya finding like one community, let's not blame it sana like kwa government peke yake. There is also tribalism. So I think it's also a factor that has influenced.
Mimi nimekuambia hivi. Saa hii kila county inapata the same amount of money. Now the tribalism that is happening in the Public Service Commission, it is challenged in the court of law. hata juzi imechallengewa, but the courts are somehow allowing it to happen.
Because they are also there.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're part of it.
So we that's a broader conversation.
Yeah.
But sahi tuanzie na mashule, tuanzie na kitu iko na high probability of success. So we start with the schools. The schools, we have realized that kuna hii quota system iko abused. Now all counties get the same amount of money. Governor ukienda Mombasa huko ni concert. Nileta Chris Breezy wanakuja huko.
But they're promoting talent.
That's what they are saying, but where is the talent from Mombasa? Iko wapi? Tumeiona ati imeenda international, hakuna.
Actually, they poach people from other countries. Why are they not bringing our people?
Yeah.
Tumeenda huko concert na nini. So what it's almost like the CDF we are talking about. Mohaji Chopevu, I'm not praising him for anything. I don't even like politicians. But within the first term yake kuwa MP 2017 to 2022 alijenga shule 6.
Actually, ukienda Nyali, it's developed.
Alijenga shule ngapi? Alijenga shule 6. That is the work of CDF. Now enda ma constituencies zingine hawajafanya kitu. Wamekula hiyo do yake. Sasa unataka Nyali watoto wa hizo shule zimetengenezwa na shule na pesa za Nyali. Unataka watoto walikoni wasomee huko. Kwa sababu MP wao walikula pesa. Hapana. Ili sasa nyinyi mkuwe na akili ya kuchaguana vizuri. Mwache you stop electing clowns, you stop electing idiots. We have to incentivize you by force. And by force ni kwanza tuwakataze kutumia shule zetu under the guise of quota system.
But they are public schools.
They are not who has told you they are public schools? They just have the logo of the government
of that
because
area.
of the curriculum. Curriculum tu ndio inafanya ikuwe public. But ilijengwa na community na pesa za mtaa hiyo. Pesa za constituency hiyo. Hivyo tu.
The
government does not own a single, hakuna shule gava ishaijenga hata moja. I kid you not.
Ni pesa yetu anyway,
Ni pesa yetu, tunaenda maharambe. Ulikuwa unaenda ukichapa dirisha moja.
Ama taxes zetu si ndio zenye wana collect.
Ukichapa dirisha moja assume. Skule tulikuwa tunagoma, unachapa dirisha moja inavunjika. Ulikuwa unaambiwa unaenda na barbed wire mzima, unaambiwa ukuje na window pane 5. You are compensating for others. So those schools were built by our caution money, development money, harambes, and the people who don't. And taxes hapana. Hakuna mahali pesa ya serikali imesaidia hizi shule. To add insult to injury, the former president ule hamkukuta alikuwa anaitwa Daniel Arap Moi. Moi hakuwa anajenga shule na tax money. Alikuwa anasema mumuite harambe. So Moi every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, hakuna kazi nyingine alikuwa anafanya ni maharambe za mashule. Every weekend ungemuona alikuwa leo ako huko Sacho School, leo ako huko so alikuwa anasema which ideally is very crazy, is very messed up if you think about it. Nataka ku manage lugha kwa sababu niko kwa language nyingine, lakini ungejua niko kwa TikTok yangu ma language huku ningekuwa nimevuruga. Ideally that was wrong, that was messed up because government inaallocate 300 billion shillings for education. Mimi sijui kule hizo dozi inaendanga.
Corruption.
Hawajawahi hakuna shule moja unionyeshe. Shule zimejengwa na CDF. Na CDF is a community development fund. Hiyo ni do ya hiyo constituency. Imetolewa for the use of and for the benefit of that constituency. No more no less. Sasa hizo shule kama hizo Mohaji Chopevu walijenga huko kwa Nyali, zisaidie watu wa Diani, zisaidie watu wa Kwale wenye wanachagua wezi. Hapana. Now we have to incentivize people to vote wisely. Because Kenyans don't want to vote wisely. Kenyans wanataka kukuja dakika ya
Actually, that's a topic we were talking about the other day, if you remember. We were talking about these celebrities who wameshakaa kwa industry, watu wamewachoka. They want to find other means of getting a shilling. And they end up running for
MP.
Yes. They end up running for office. And ukiwaangalia wao wenyewe in their years zenye wamerana celebrities, there's nothing they've achieved.
They've never given back to society. And they've never mentored anyone.
No.
Na sasa wanataka because social media has blown. So na ukiwaangalia
they're taking advantage of people because people love us.
Ukiwaangalia agenda yao na hawa wakora ni the same. Ukiangalia watu wenye wako nini, kama saa hii juzi niliona harusi fulani ya mtu fulani, harusi kubwa sana, harusi kubwa. Niliona huko ma celeb huko wamejaa huko, and then ma politicians wamejaa huko.
But they were invited.
All I'm saying, there is a network of all of these people. They're speaking from
one language. Yeah, they're speaking one language. Yeah.
Wanaongea ni kama they are being fed by the same pot.
Yes.
Umesikia?
Yeah.
So we have to also ask tukuje tuseme no, we don't like we don't like what is happening over here, as we are charting a new agenda, and which is why the space for podcasts exists, or platforms tuongee vitu zinatuhusu.
Yeah.
Sasa mimi nilikuwa nakuuliza, shule ya Jicho Pevu wamejenga shule 6. Mbona mtu wa county ya Nairobi sasa aende kusomea huko Nyali kwa shule zimejengewa watoto wa Nyali?
Doesn't make sense.
That's what we are saying. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So we want to abolish the quota system. Tunataka paka shule kama Alliance haitakuwa national, hiyo itakuwa shule ya watu wa hiyo area.
Yeah.
Hakuna mahali serikali iliweka pesa kwa hiyo shule. Hiyo shule ilijengwa na makanisa, shamba ikapeanwa na individual, ikanini, that hakuna shule serikali imejenga. Serikali sasa ikijenga shule yazo, sasa walete hiyo quota system, is okay, hiyo ni shule yao. Lakini hizi shule zimetengenezwa na mimi, shule yetu, when I went to Kagumo, I paid, nilifanya harambee kununua basi, kujenga nini, tulifanya maharambee hizo zote.
Yeah.
Sasa zinasaidia watu sio wa mtaa yangu.
Yeah.
Wana huko Turkana. Turkana wanapewa pesa mingi na watu wao ni kidogo. Tumewaambia wacheni umafi sasa.
See, there's a time we saw the governor returning money.
Unakumbuka hiyo ujinga?
Yes.
Ati wameshindwa kuspend pesa yao.
Sasa wamerudishia government.
Sasa tumewaambia sasa, wewe uko Homa Bay, uko wapi? Na coincidentally when we started talking about this, sijaona fujo, because the people in those counties, they understand that their money is being stolen. Now we need to trigger them into a mini revolution in those counties, ili watoe their corrupt leaders. Sasa tumeanza kuambia mapema ndio best. Wewe kama unatarajia kuleta mtoto wako Pangani, sijui Kenya High, sijui Mangu, sijui sahau and forget. Sahau and forget. Hizo shule ni za community. Anza kujipanga mapema.
Harambe kwenyu.
Hata pesa ya county yenye wako nayo ni billions. Wanakuja kujenga miradi huku Nairobi. Umeona buildings zenye wanajenga. Umeona zile malls ziko Isich. Umeona hizo malls zenye ziko Isich. Umeziona?
There's one being constructed na it will be the biggest in Africa.
Unasikia? Hiyo pesa imetolewa kwa hizo makaunti zao. Sasa tumewaambia tuachishe puzi mapema, anzeni kujenga shule. Anzeni kujenga shule.
Yeah.
Anzeni kujenga. Let me show you. I did a TikTok on the Mandera governor's residence.
I saw it.
You saw?
Yeah.
Did you see? I don't know whether it was Mandera or Garissa or Moyale. It was Moyale governors. Sorry. Nilicorrectiwa nikaambiwa ni nyumba ya governor wa Moyale. I think you'll put a screenshot of it in this video.
Yeah.
I'll send you that. That house is spectacular. And it costed 300 million.
Wow.
300 million ni do angetengeneza hata university campus. Wacha hata sasa shule, university campus.
Is the residence ni yake ama ni official?
Ni yake, official governor residence. But unajua
ni yake sio ya serikali.
Ni yake ni ya serikali, but doesn't matter, is priorities. Here we are talking about priorities.
Yeah.
Why would you build atiko on a hill anaangalia tu peasants huko chini? Anaona tu. So when I put that, I expected a lot of war and a lot of anger from the people. The people know they are being exploited by their leaders. But because your region, number one, they are so far away from us. Hatujuangi what happens there.
Yeah.
And then they are captured huko by clan, whatever, religion, politics and whatever. So hawawezi kutokea kama vile si tunatokea. Lakini si tunawaambia sasa tunamsaidia. Tuna come through. Vile tunawaambia ni siku ile mtaona nyinyi hamuitwi Alliance na hizi shule zingine, nyinyi mnajua nini mtafanya. We have given you, tumefanya the 50%, hiyo ingine ni yenyu.
So I saw an interesting topic that you had on your TikTok about generations, how Gen Zs are like more outspoken, and you feel like they are going to like help even the other generation. So do you think that these, even when you're later hizo toxicities, they have been there and others are silent, ama ni sahi ndo zimeanza kutokea?
They've been there. Gen Z mi wamenibamba. That's where I need to be. Mi hata sitaki kuongea na watu wa rika yangu. Tu rika yangu wameitikia, ni kama wamejipa. Wamejipa tutumiwe na serikali, na makanisa, na mashule. So they don't talk about this. Because you understand the role of school and religion. So school iko hivi, let me give you the structure. Munasoma 844, munabombadiwa hizo maneno, mnaingia high school. Kidogo ukitoka campus unakuwa na ile life na nini. Lakini afterwards umengojewa pande ile nyingine na kanisa. Sasa hata kama ungekuwa na ile will ya kuongea, kanisa imekungojea pale na kuambia tuliza hizi mambo ni mambo ya Mungu, usipike kelele, usinini. Hii mambo ni mambo ya Mungu. So hauna hata chance ya kuongea na rafiki yako mwenzako muongee, mbona tunasikiza hii maneno, mbona tunajifanya ni kama tumesikia hii maneno. So me have taken a lot of time to read and study where we went wrong as a country. The number one tulienda wrong ni educational curriculum, religion. Kiangalia now, the next thing we want to do is to expunge religion from the curriculum. So tuondoe CRE, IRE, whatever, tuondoe hizo maneno zote. Hizo mambo, alafu Sunday watoto wasifosiwe waende mass, waende wapi. Thirdly, hatutaki guest preacher, hawa wenye wanakuja wanaleta toxicity. Hatutaki. Tunataka shule inakuwa na mtu mmoja anaitwa chaplain. Ako hapo permanently for counseling, for nini, alafu wanafanya mass. Wanafanya mass bila kuleta hawa watu tunaonanga hawa.
But mkitoa hizo vitu tunatoa religion from the curriculum kabisa.
It's not supposed to be there.
Why?
Kenya
But
is
I think it
constitutionally Kenya is a secular country. Kenya is a secular country. So religion doesn't need to be there. Why should it be there?
But religion teaches morality, it guides the people. Why should it be removed?
No, religion is not a subject, first of all, to learn. It's a calling. It's a personal conviction.
Yeah.
You understand? There are people who are religious, kama huyu Pastor Gaitho. He's religious from a very, unakumbuka kale kakijana kalikuwa kanasema rise and shine. Hapo Pastor Gaitho. Hapo. Si kamekuwa na hiyo conviction from a young age. You understand? So religion is a conviction, is a personal conviction.
And that's why they should be introduced into it.
Yeah, because he knew it in school.
No, your parents are the ones who are supposed to introduce you to religion, not the school. So your parents, that's their work. What they do with you, wasikia watakupeleka msikitini, kanisani, kwa temple, that's them.
But now sasa, like boarding schools, if they don't have something like religion, they don't have churches. You've said we don't even need masses, we don't need, how will they be raised?
Now you are misquoting me. I have said don't force children to mass.
Oh, okay.
It is voluntary. Have a chaplain, have whatever other person who is going to connect them with their spiritual needs.
But you know, sometimes you don't even know you need something until someone guides you and tells you like you should be doing this.
Then it should be within the, a voluntary process. Sio ile ati mnasoma CRE kama subject. Kwa sababu mi kumaanisha nilisoma CRE, sio kumaanisha ati sasa mimi ni mtu nimeshikana na makanisa sana. In fact, I detest, because I am able to see corruption, and nimeona makanisa, they are some of the most corrupt outfits.
But don't you think now that you ulisoma CRE, don't you think that sasa venye ulisoma CRE uli get a better understanding, hata saizi unaweza discern from churches, you're like, I read the Bible in school.
No. It's not because of CRE that I'm seeing that. In fact, time ya CRE mimi nilikuwa nimedoze. Mwalimu akikampale nilikuwa naambia tu mwenye ako mbele pale kaa vizuri hapo asinione. Na chapa mdoze. Because I didn't want to learn nonsense. I can learn Christianity on my own. I have the tools, the mental, whatever, the capability to learn on my own. I don't need to be taught by a teacher about a Bible that interpretation yake ni vile anataka. Mimi nataka nijisomee nipate, it's a personal conviction. In the same light, that's why I'm saying we expunge it from the curriculum so that it can be a voluntary process. Because we don't want that you umesomea hii shule yenye iko na, no, you could end up being a Muslim, you could end up being a Hindu, you could end up being a Buddhist, you could end up being whatever. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's why we are saying you have a chaplain and anyone else who can guide the students in their spiritual journey, but when you do it within the context ya education, unawatupa nje. So tuitoe kwa curriculum, na Sunday sasa asubuhi sio wakati ati ya nini, ati ya kufanya ati si tulikuwa tunapigwa, mwalimu anatukujia huko kwa dom, kama hujaamka unatwangwa, and then ya kutwangwa kwetu was very public, because sasa mwalimu alikuwa anakuja na kuandika jina, haupigwi hiyo day. Sasa unangojewa Monday kwa assembly, mnatajwa majina, the following people are sleeping during church.
Hata kulikuwa na noisemakers.
Munaitwa pale. You know that whole process is to humiliate students. It's not meant to build them and to mold them into better human beings. It's to humiliate them.
And instill fear
and strip them of their dignity. Mi naambianga walimu wangu waombe tusiwahi onana. Mi sijasema nini, waombe.
Okay, let's talk about the last thing. Time has really ran. You have an issue with the media.
I don't have an issue with the journalists per se, but the media establishment exists to, what can we say, to amplify the government agenda. And the status quo agenda. It exists for that purpose. So nikiangalia hivi naona they are not partners of progress. Tukiangalia maneno yote yenye mbaya inafanyika Kenya, media has been, in fact ungeangalia wakati waliitwa Hague our politicians kwa sababu ya kutupiganisha huku. One of the perpetrators of the post-election violence in 2007 was a journalist called Joshua Sang. So they can use, or they have been misused by the political class to spread toxicity, to spread hate, to even instigate violence. So those are dangerous people, the journalists. Ukiona wakisoma news, naona kama mtu kama Waihiga Mwaura and Yvonne Okwara, they are reading and then they shout, you know, they are shouting to spread fear and to push a government agenda kwa hiyo shouting yao. I told them, stop shouting. I can hear you when you're talking. I don't watch media, but I get the forwards. Mbona huyu anashout huyu? So because you're shouting, because kuna strategy wanaita in media propaganda circles, wanasemanga spin and obfuscation. They push an agenda chini ya maji, lakini wanatumia hizi soundtracks, wanatumia antiques. And that's why Kenya all the time we are always sad. Notice we are feeding off negative energy. Last week tulikuwa mambo ya Millicent Omanga. Hata kabla Millicent Omanga haijaisha tumeingia hii mambo ya Mackenzie. Now Mackenzie, which is to me is a very small incident. Sijui kwa nini.
Small incident.
Very small incident. Very small incident. How many people?
69.
69, eh?
So far.
By morning.
112 are lost.
Do you know how many people? Do you know how many people die of road accidents in a week? That's cumulated. Tunaongea story ya kutoka mwaka gani?
Hata kama ni mingi.
But these are dying on one person.
Have you ever heard the president? Have you ever heard anyone addressing the road accidents? Have you ever had
you know, actually,
that is not
Sharon
like
mentioned this morning that our president commented about it, and I was like, he commented. I was like, why? Yeah, I was like,
but you see the difference. The difference between accidents and this one is that this one is one person that has caused all these deaths that might even hit 100. But accidents are not like planned or intentional.
No. Death is death. Death is death. Now,
but how you die counts.
No.
Yes.
You are dead at the end of the day. Whether you died of suicide or what, or a gunshot, you will never come back to life.
That is true.
Yes.
But the people you leave behind do care of how you will die.
But I also think the president talked because it's based on religion, and we've known the serikali.
It's a red flag to have the head of state talking about 60 deaths, while every year we have close to 3,000 people dying of road accidents. It's a red flag. So it shows kuna agenda. We are being distracted from something. I don't know what we are being distracted for. I told you I don't want to comment on my. You asked me why I haven't commented.
Yeah.
I will not comment until I piece things together, because this is full of red flags. Mbona I saw the entire propaganda machinery. Dennis Itumbi, Githeri Media wameweka pale kwa, we call them, do you know why we call them Githeri Media? The mainstream media, do you know why we call them?
No, why?
In 2017 elections ilikuwa zinaibwa. They focused on a guy called Githeri Man.
Yeah.
Unakumbuka ule alikuwa anakula Githeri?
Yes.
Akafanywa superstar, akapaka akapelekwa ma trips na akina Bonfire na
Akapewa
nani,
nyumba.
akapewa head of state commendation.
Yes.
But it was all a distraction mechanism from kura zikiibwa. So that's why we call them Githeri Media, by the way. So it's not anything else. Watu wanafikiringi,
But that one it's people that liked him.
No, I did not like him.
The media sells.
They sell headlines.
Or they took it now.
They took it and they made him but because we didn't have platforms like TikTok to express ourselves. Hatukuwa na TikTok your time. So you can imagine vile tulikuwa tunakufa roho tukishindwa. Mbona Githeri Media wameweka huyu mtu front page, Nation Media wamemweka pale front page na kura zinaibiwa huku.
But from a media point of view, like pia unajua, like it was so like everyone was concentrated on that, and there are people that wanted like a distraction to like something
we didn't want
to be entertained.
No, we didn't
people
want.
Are different.
No, we didn't want. What we want is Githeri Media to appear huko nyuma, back pages, kama mngetaka kama mnampenda kabisa. And you saw ever since that day, and the fact that we keep calling them Githeri Media, they are very careful of who they foist. They're very careful. Wamejaribu hivi wana because we are telling them nyinyi kazi yenu ni gani. So this is a very well cooked story narrative ya Mackenzie. I want to watch it because mimi president anaongea leo, amefanya speech kubwa, Pastor Mackenzie ashikwe kashindwa. It's too good to be true. Hapa kuna kitu tunauziwa.
Time will tell.
Hapa si ungoje. Let me give you a story before we close down.
Yeah.
This story nobody puts it in context. So kuna time during the Kibaki era there was gold consignment ilishikwa worth 5 billion shillings. Ikashikwa Mombasa. Ikapelekwa kwa barracks, ikapelekwa kwa I think Kahawa barracks. Was put in an armory, storage ya weapons. Unajua ile you need a key, una need ma codes kuingia pale. Sasa hiyo key ikapewa a GSU officer. Sio alikuwa anaitwaje? I remember. Ikapewa a GSU officer. So this GSU officer sasa walikuwa wanataka kuja kuchukua hizo drugs. I'm telling you this story. Atungelijua kama sio Moha Jichopevu na John Alanamu. Walikuwa wanafanya ile Jichopevu yao.
Yeah.
Na Alanamu, I don't know what he used to call it, his version. So the guy with the key to that armory where the drugs were stored, the cocaine was stored, was a GSU commandant or a guy, a GSU senior. Now they wanted to get the key from him because apparently it's only him who could open all that key yenye alikuwa nayo. Nobody else alikuwa na copy. Wakaenda na huko kwao, kumbe alikuwa leave. Wakaenda na huko kwao Rift Valley, sijui ni wapi. Wakampiga maguns twa akakufa. Alafu wakamweka kwa front page ya gazeti. Kamwambia most wanted criminal killed. Kumbe walikuwa tu wanataka ile ufunguo, wakaichukua wakaenda wakatoa virago zenye walikuwa wanataka. But unaona si wote tulikuwa tunajua is a most wanted criminal. Now we came to know that story, the real version, like 6 years later. Tukakuja kuona haya. Kumbe if you watch Jichopevu, we call Jichopevu. Yeah. By the way, musione kama nampatia story ati nini. They killed somebody. The media ran with a fake narrative from the government that huyo mwenye ameuliwa is a most wanted criminal, yet he was a GSU commandant mwenye alikuwa amepewa keys, and all they wanted was the keys that they can get.
Now the government.
Out. Yeah?
The government is the one which wanted the keys.
The cartels in the government. Government is cartels. So ever since that day when I realized vile mambo ina happen na media headlines, siku hizi nikiona media headline na chill tu. Na chill. Na ngoja siku kadhaa. We relax too.
It's the same how they did with Gaddafi.
Yes.
The international media, we all knew that he was a terrorist.
Yes. But we know what happened after.
Yeah.
So
Our
just
Africa.
chill. But yeah, just give it a few 2-3 weeks tutaona hii story mahali inaenda. Unajua unlike those days of akina Jichopevu, your story ili take 6 years. Siku hizi tunajua maneno within 1-2-3 weeks tunajua. Sasa ndio nakwambia don't be hyped up by his story. Watu wamekufa na president anaingilia na Sonko anaingilia, itumbi the propaganda machinery vile iko setup ya gava ya kuhoodwink watu vile iko, tunaiona yote iko kwa hii story. Is a red flag. Kunywa drink yangu.
Wacha tumalizie hapo sasa guys.
Kunywa drink yangu mimi.
Okay. Yeah, so we've come to the end of this episode. We really liked, we enjoyed all this. Karibu tena.
Cheers. Cheers na chai. Nyinyi mnakunywa chai.
Yangu imeisha.
Cheers. Guys, what do you think about the episode? Unashare maoni hapo. Enyi mekuguza tu hapo, you write hapo, and follow Francis at Francis Gaitho on TikTok and other platforms.
On other platforms. Ukinitafuta tu na Francis Gaitho utanipata hapo.
Sawa guys. So
nimekuja listen, when I came here I told you I don't know why us podcasters we are not collaborating on projects. Kule tukiona TikTokers wengine tunaona Ajib leo wana dance na huyu, unaona Tile Park bro wana dance na huyu, ndio huyo nani huyu mwingine anaitwa aje, wana dance pamoja. Mbona sisi hatufanyi hivyo? So let's collaborate.
Yes, collaborate guys. So tupatane on the next one. Bye.